Good morning, ladies. This month we are going to create our cards with Let's Go Shopping. And I know we're running a little behind, but we are going to start by coloring the building. And then if you wanted to use this on more than one card, you can color and then copy it on your printer. And I think we'll also be using some images that are already on the designer series paper. Okay, so let me just see if I can't pull in closer. That looks better. Now, to get your image stamped, what you have to do is, let me just get a block here. Stamp your top image. So you would stamp your top image. Okay. And then grab the bottom piece and line it up with these lines on the top piece to stamp your bottom piece. Now you'll notice that I'm off just a tiny little bit here. So I'm actually going to take a black marker and I'm just going to extend that line down. It won't really make a difference because we'll be coloring and we won't see those lines. Now you'll notice in another post, I gave you the numbers of the markers that you're going to be needing. And we are going to start with the browns. And it is Dark and Light Pecan Pie and SU 600. Okay. There is a chart in the Gal Friday stamping group, and I'll post it in here in case you have the SUs or you purchase the new markers that are now just they're named differently. So for this image this month, we're going to go through a wide range of versatile building elements that you can apply to different images once you're done with this coloring video. And what we're going to do is we are going to, and you'll notice in the designer series paper that there's brick on this building. Well, we are going to take this image and we are going to add brick to the front of this building. Okay. We're going to start with the brick. That's the largest portion of this image, and it'll make it feel less overwhelming when you're coloring or trying to finish the image up completely. So we're going to start with the darkest color. Okay, so let's just grab our colors and we're just going to add them here so we can see that one was light pecan. This is dark pecan. And then this is the SU 600. So let's see what that is. Okay, that's still a little bit too dark. So let's see if I can get a lighter. Let's see what 500 looks like. Nope, that's still too dark. This is 700. Just bear with me. Let's see, ivory. That's too, I think that one's too light. No, maybe we'll go with ivory. Alright, so quick switch up. Dark and light pecan pie and ivory. Okay, and we're going to start with our darkest color, which is the dark pecan pie. And what we want to do when we're thinking about this building is what objects are in the front of this image, okay? So here we can see that that is going to look something like this on the building, right? It's stacked. All right, let's use the blocks. All right, so we have our blocks and it'll be stacked like this, okay? So when you're looking at it, and look at that, I got to clean my block. So when you're looking at it, the top one is in front of or further forward than the next one. And that's what this is indicating here. So we know that's in front. Now when it comes to like the window, this ledge here is further away from the back of this building. So that's going to cast a shadow. Same thing here. The door frame should be sticking out. This window frame should be sticking out. So that's how we guide where we're going to put our cast shadows. And we are going to grab that dark color and we are going to apply it to all the areas that will cast a shadow. Okay, and I'm just going to turn this a little so I can get my lines. So what we want to do is I'm going to use the nib portion of the marker and I'm going to go over this line right across the top of the image. Okay, and then the one next to it I'm going to leave. Now where this squiggle line is, we are going to add a line of this dark color. Okay, we're going to add our cast shadow there. When it comes to the windows, we are going to put a line or a shadow under the windows. And then we are also going to come up just a little bit at the bottom of the windows because we're adding our shadows so we can have, so this building looks like it's a little bit more three-dimensional. So let's head back down here. This time go above that line and make the line, you know, as thin as you can, but you still want it on the paper. Okay, and then we're going to do the second line on this one. And I know it is a small image compared to what you're used to. So if you're having trouble with the nib, you may want to try the Stamping Right marker. The nib might be a little smaller. And then we have these scalloped lines again. We are going to color over those scalloped lines and add a shadow. All right, so there is our building so far. So now we're going to hop down here to the window, and I'm going to turn it this way now, and we are going to put a dark line under the window, and then we're going to come around the corner. So it shows that that window is up and off from the building, okay? We're going to head over here to the door. And we are going to come up the side of the door a little bit on each side. So that is our darkest color. Now you're going to take your next color, which is the light pecan pie, and we're going to go over what we just colored and extend the line out a little bit. So for this one, let's color in that second space. And I'm going to turn it again, and I'm going to come up on the ups on top of that line and extend it to the top a little bit. This one, we're going to extend the line up, and then we're going to fill in the bottom piece. Now for the window, you're going to extend it out, and we're going to bring it up, extend it out, and bring it up. Same thing here, extend it up, out, and up. All right, so we have some shadow there. I'm actually going to go back to my dark, and I'm going to go over what I just did. I'm going to add my shadow back, because you know when you go over the dark marker with a lighter marker, it washes it out a little bit. So I'm just going to add these dark shadows back. Same thing here. Same thing here. And then we're going to leave that for now. Okay, so now I have my dark shadows back in. We have to come up here to under that piece, and we're going to extend this out or down. And then let's extend it down here also. And go back to our dark and just get that right underneath. Okay. So here we have the top of our building. Okay, it's coming along. We're going to jump down here to the bottom. We're going to grab our light pecan pie, and we're just going to extend this color out, and we're going to come up the side of the door and extend it out here and come up the side of the door. We're going to go around those steps. We're going to extend the color here. We'll leave a little bit of white in between. Extend the color here. We're going to bring the color up the window. Extend it here and bring the color up the window. So what are we going to do? We're going to go back with our dark color now, and we are going to put our dark color back in. So we want it here, under the window, and up here. All right, so there are our shadows, okay? You want to make sure that you extend that color just a little bit further because you want to fill in that space. So now we're going to take the ivory. And what we're going to do is we're just going to apply dabs of color to the large areas. Okay? We're not going to color it in completely. So when you dab, and you can do it with the brush if you like, you're just going to, or mine is a little destroyed, but you're going to just dab color. And I'll do it with my, where it's a small space. You can do it with the nib part. But we're just, you want to leave some white space in between. So we're just going to dab some color to fill in the space. Okay? So we're just dabbing color. And then actually, let's try some, I want to get it, that one's too dark. This is ivory. Let's see. I want to see what crumb cake looks like. All right, let's get some crumb cake. And then we're going to add some crumb cake to contrast it a little bit. So just add some dabs of crumb cake in here. Okay. Now you want to create your bricks. We're going to go back to our dark pecan pie. Let's do our light pecan pie. I want to just see, I want to pull my pecan pie. Let's see what pebble path looks like. Too dark. I'm just going to pull some pecan pie. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Right marker. See if we can get a nice... Okay. Grab your pecan pie Stampin' Right marker. And what you're going to do is we're going to now create some brick onto the front of this building. You may want to practice first. So what you want to do is we're going to put lines across the front, and then starting at the top, you're going to put lines this way, and your lines that go down are going to be scattered. Okay? The bricks, we can lay them in all different ways, but we want to have a row of rectangular bricks. And each brick starts in the middle of the one above it or below it, okay? And then goes across. So once you've practiced doing your bricks on a piece of paper, you don't really need a ruler because you don't want it to be perfect. You want to do it so it looks like a building, and you'll have different spaces in between the bricks. So you want it to be as natural as possible. So once you practice like this, you can grab your pecan pie marker and then start drawing your horizontal lines. Now this is a small building, so you don't want them to be big like this. You're going to want your lines to be a little closer together. All right. So we're going to lay these out. I'm just going to go across. So we're going completely across the building. And then you want to put a line under, and you want them to be spaced pretty much the same, right? This one will go with the bottom of the window. And then you have your lines drawn on your building. Okay? Now we want to put our vertical lines in. So you want to make these bricks pretty much uniform. And once you get that first line in there, then we're going to put a line down the middle of the bricks. Okay? Then for the next one, we're going to put lines down the middle, and then we can put lines down the middle. This one will leave. You might want to put them over towards the window. So every other one, your lines will be where they're supposed to be. So now we're going to follow this one here. And then you have the bricks on the front of the top part of your building. All right. Let's just go. We're going to look at these pieces here, and we're going to grab that ivory again. Make sure I have the right one. And we want to fill in this white space on the eaves here. So you're just going to color that in. Same thing here. You're going to fill in that white space. Okay. Now looking at your bricks, if you're not happy with the color that you have on your bricks, you can go back and add a little bit more color. And I'm going to actually take my crumb cake and add some more of the darker, just to give it some shadow, some more shadow. And then I'm going to grab my ivory and just go over it a little bit, just to pull that color. All right, so there is the top of our building. Now let's head down here to the bottom of our building, and we're going to do the same thing. You're going to take your ivory, and you're going to add some color. Just dab some color into the background. Okay. Then we're going to take our light crumb cake, and we're going to add some more color in the white areas, just to give it a little bit of texture. We're going to go back to our Stamping Right marker, and we're going to draw our horizontal lines, and you want to keep them spaced just like the top. So let's do this one at the top of the door, and it'll be a little easier this time because there's not much space here. So you just want to keep your lines pretty horizontal. And this will go right down the bottom of that window. All right, so there's our horizontal lines. Now let's get up here and start our bricks. So we're just going to add our lines. This one will be here. Every other one, right? This one will be down the side of the door. This one will be in the middle. This one will be here. This one, and then this one, and then just every other one, put a line. So now we have the brick to our window completed. Okay? So since we're done with that, let's jump to our pinks. I know, crazy, right? We're going to do the door. We're going to take our darkest pink, and I grabbed dark polish pink. And I know it's retired, but it's a really pretty color. And we're going to put a dark line under this square, a dark line under this shape, right? A dark line under the door handle. And then we are going to bring that line all the way over and make it a little wider, okay? We're going to bring this color up on the door, just like that. Let's come up here to the top of the door and add some color to the top of the door. The window frame, we can do the same if you like. So what we would do is get some pink on either corner and then come up here and add some pink to that outside frame. Then we want to take our light polished pink and we are going to extend this down. Sorry about that. It's my phone dinging. I need to keep it on because I'm waiting for a call from the urologist office for Bill. All right, so we're going to extend this color down. We're going to extend it here. Extend it up the window. Extend this color down and across. And you can also put it right at the base of the door. Now we're just going to extend this color out. Extend this color up, out, and down. I'm going to come up a little bit. All right. Then we're going to take our dark bubble bath and extend it again. Extend this color. So I'm going to go back to my dark again. I'm going to add my dark back. And then I'm going to go back to my bubble bath. Nope, we'll go to the light polished pink. Just extend that color a little bit. And you don't have to be perfect when you're adding this color because we're working on, a old wood frame. And then we're going to go back in and add some of our bubble bath. You can leave some white. All right, now this is a window, so we're going to just leave that for now until we do the windows. Okay, so there is our building. Let's jump to one of our flower pots for right now, and we're going to work with the pink. Okay, so we're going to start with the pink. We are going to go up and under the plant. And unlike me, try not to hit your leaves. And then we're going to add a line down each side. And that's dark polished pink. With the light polished pink, we're going to extend this line. We're going to extend it on both sides. Okay. And then we're going to take our light bubble bath. You're going to fill in the white on the left, the white on the right, and then for the center, you're just going to add a little bit and try to leave a white line down the middle. If you have a hard time leaving a white line down the middle, then you can always come back and use a paint pen. And I'm just looking to see where mine is. This is the one I was using. No. Let's see. Where is the one I was using? All right, I'll have to start a new one. I'm not sure what happened to it. But this one, I use an extra fine tip, and it's Artistro. I've got it on Amazon. You do have to make sure you shake it up really well. You'll notice it tells you to shake, and then you press. But you'll notice you can see that the color of the paint in here, there's the oils. So you want to just shake it up really good. And then you're going to press down on the tip because you want that ink to start flowing. And it does take a few minutes. But you would take it and you could put a line of white right up there it goes. You can put a line of white down the middle. But before I do that, I am going to go back and add my dark back in. And then I'm going to use my light polished pink and extend it a little bit. And then go back with my bubble bath, fill in that edge and that edge, extend it out a little bit so there's white in the center. I'm going to add just a little bit more. All right. And then you can take a white pen and add it down the center. So it looks like it's very, very dark. If you're not happy with the dark polished pink, let's see how this is. I would take make sure that clips. There we go. A darker color, because I like my shadows to be dark. I would take some light cherry cobbler. I'm going to actually come back in with light cherry cobbler and add a darker shadow, and then come back again with my dark petal pink and go over that. And then I'll just go to my light bubble bath and add it to the center here. So now our flower pot doesn't look so flat, okay? We can do the same thing to another one. That's fresh freesia. Let's go with Highland Heather. This one I messed up, so I'm going to jump up to this one. I'm going to put dark Highland Heather under the flowers, and I'm going to pull it down like that. Let's use some light Highland Heather, and we're just going to extend this color out. I'm going over the edges of what I just colored. Okay. And then I'm going to grab some light fresh freesia and fill it in. I'm going to go back to my light Highland Heather and extend this out. So then we have 2 flower pots that are completed. Okay, we have our building, we have our 2 flower pots. Let's color in our plants. Soft sea foam, light old olive. Let's see. Let's color them in with light lemon lime twist. So we're just going to color them in. And this one here. So I'm just filling it in completely. Okay. I left a little white around. And then I'm going to grab my dark mossy meadow. Whoops, that wasn't good. Wow, my top is stuck on. I guess I'll have to buy a new mossy meadow. Hold on one second. There we go. All right, so I have my dark mossy meadow. These little leaves that are in the back, we want you to color those in because they're in the back. Okay. And then these leaves here, we're going to just outline around these leaves very carefully because it's a teeny little area. All right, so that's one. And this one, it might be a little easier with your Stamping Right markers. So we just went over, just copied the artist lines. And then we're going to go to light old olive. And we're just going to extend these lines out. And extend them out on this side. And now we have our plants, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some white dots on these leaves that are in the front. Okay, and now we have our plant, and I know that's a little bit done. I would recommend using your Stampin' Write markers. I'm just going to add some more white here. And then once that's dry, and I don't know if it's going to dry really quickly, I would go over it with something really bright. And this is Parakeet Party. I'm just going to dab some Parakeet Party onto these bushes. Okay, so there we have our building, we have our flowers. Now you have to decide what you want to put inside your windows. We are going to stamp whatever you want inside the windows. And what I'm going to suggest is, if you notice, since we just already, I'll do mine a bookstore first. If you lay your stamp down inside this window, the edges or the shelves go past the window. So we're going to have to line something up on the edge before we stamp this in our window. And I'll show you what I mean. Let me see if I have some. There we go. I like using Post-it notes. So let me just grab a Post-it note. And I can actually cut this in half. And we'll do it right now. I'm going to do books. So I'm just cutting my Post-it note in half. And I'm going to line it up to cover my window on the side. So when I stamp this image, it does not ruin what I just colored. All right. So we want that just like that. I'm going to lay my stamp down and pick it up. And I'll do this now so it has time to dry. And then we can color it up in the next video. Okay. So let's ink this up really well. And I'm going to stand up for this. Now you can put your books down at the bottom. You can move it up a little bit. I think I'll move mine up a little bit. We want to line this up, making sure it's straight, and then stamp. All right, so there are our books. I can pull this up now. And those books are inside the window. And the reason we want to put these on now is we're going to be coloring the books. We don't want the window to be completely white, so we are going to add some glass, and we need these colored first before we add the color for the glass. Okay, so that's the reason we're doing the books now. Then you can decide what you want in the top windows. You can put a table in your window. You can put your baked goods. We will color these so you can see how to color them. Then we have some hangers here. You can put hangers in the tops. Okay. I believe with the dies we can put an awning on, and I think that is what we're going to do. There is also a sign that we can add to this, and depending on where you want it, I don't know. Let me just pull the dies here. What did I do with them? Oh, here they are. We'll pull the dies so we can see what is in here. All right. There is some greenery, and we can actually color some of that up. We'll punch it in white, and we'll color some of that up. We do have something for a sign, but I'm not too sure where to put it. We could put it at the top of the building, I guess, unless you wanted to cover up. There is an awning right here that we can put at the top of the window. Okay, so we can decide what color we want the awning, or we can actually color the awning. It'll be up to you. Okay, so we have some fun dies, and again, here are the dies to the hangers, but there are also hangers in here. Let's just pull this out. So if you wanted hangers in your top windows, you would line it up, get that line to the top. You'd have your hangers in the top of your window, okay? And then we would add our glass to the windows. But that is up to you. So let's end this video here. When we come back, we'll start coloring some of the elements, okay? And there you go. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.